Hello and welcome to a second channel replay commentary. It's weird to introduce it like that. Here we have an experimental game with Gwen jungle where I decided, hey, let's try a different build for once. For the runes, we have something a little more early game oriented in the form of press the attack. You can see the runes just about there in the bottom left. So press the attack on Gwen is something I used to take near her release date. As a jungler, I wanted to have more early game presence. The game was less, I was about to say late game focused, but that's definitely an overstatement. Here we go for the invade, and we will catch a Naruto running Silas, who does get hooked back in, and then we do get a first blood on him, which is really nice. We then plot to take the red buff, get a Pantheon's Flash as well. I believe a ward is placed, or maybe that was a different game, I don't remember. In any case, press the attack Gwen. This is... Now, maybe someone in the comments of this one can help me out here. Or I could just Google it, but I don't remember if press the attack, the damage buff, increases true damage. This must be a question asked by Bane mains all the time. Anyway, we go for a cheeky little auto attack on him. Go a bit too close, take the Q damage. That's alright. Just a little drive-by as I go secure my own red, just to find... Oh, no. I'm getting confused on the games here. I thought this red was going to be taken. Here we have the red. Now, we went E first for the attack speed. We could go Q first. I still am undecided on which one is better. I've honestly just been thinking Q is better, but then take E by habit from before. As for the ability max order, I've been going E max Gwen because not having attack speed is sad. And not having mobility is sad, and I like to have that E max, and we get the Q max just in time. Especially with the press the attack, the extra attack speed does go a long way. Now, the thing about the Q damage, or rather the true damage and the press the attack, if true damage is increased, then there's basically no difference. But if true damage was not increased by press the attack, which is what I think is the case, then actually having 25% of the Q true damage now be magic damage instead, maybe not a buff, but it has more synergy with press the attack nowadays. In any case, this inserts some of that early game damage that Gwen kind of used to have. I don't have smite, so we're just going to slowly do this. Might give me one auto attack, and then we're going to go for the mid lane gank. Pike goes ahead, he stealths, letting Yone know we're here. Yone already did the thing, but he decides to go for the stun anyway, just to take a tower shot. We're going to go back and get some items. First item, boots and a Sheen. Now here's where we're once again going for the early game as well. So Sheen on Gwen, it's not that bad. Her base damage is not too bad. And she does have very spammable abilities, especially when you max E. Because E is an auto reset, gives you extra range. It's really easy to proc. And those who've watched for a very long time may remember that I used to build Divine Sundra on Gwen whilst we were, we did a little bit of trolling here and there. Now, you have options of Essence Reaver, Divine Sundra, Trinity Force, and of course Lich Bane. Now, numerous experiments, Silas takes a crab. We're going to go ahead and hit him with Sheen procs. At least we would if he didn't flash away. He's out of there. And check his jungle, nothing. Go back to mine. So Sheen proc's not too bad, and as we've discovered many times through playing AD Gwen, on-hit Gwen, all sorts, AP is better 99% of the time, so this is definitely going to be a Lich Bane. However, Lich Bane first in the jungle doesn't sit right with me. It might have been okay, but we're actually going to go ahead and apparently get a longsword. I think I didn't really know what I was doing yet. I was thinking maybe I'll go in Divine Sundra again for the first time in like a year. But what we're actually going to go second is the Nash's Tooth. For the extra attack speed and the extra on-hit damage. Again, synergy with press the attack, synergy with E passive. And it's going to be pretty nice overall. We're also spacing out our Qs and Es. We're not using them totally off cooldown. We are trying to get more Sheen procs out of it. At least in the jungle clear, in a actual duel or team fight, we might not space them out so much. Now, Ornn goes to become a ward rather than place one. And this lets me get several hits of those needles. And then just auto him down. The press the attack, of course, increasing vulnerability not just for yourself, but for your teammates as well, making it excellent for ganks. Go ahead, wave clear that with a Trinder, and we're going to go ahead grab one of those. I think he just teleported, but it didn't show on the League replay, as League replays are bugged. My League Director also crashes on whenever I open it. Here I am completely stuck on Rift Herald. Enemies do find us. Silas goes in on Tryndamere. I do finish off the Herald whilst he's being held off. And then we're going to hold him back. Ornn Ultimate is going to connect with the Tryndamere. W, of course. Gwen is immune. That's going to be okay. I do hold them off a bit. I do burn a ghost. Maybe we could have 3v2'd it, but at this point, it's a little late. Takes an Akali ult. And that's that. Now here, I think we're going to go for the recurve boat. Nope. Blasting Wand and the Lucid Boots. You really can't beat ability haste on Gwen no matter what you're building. So I think it's always a good purchase. And the AP with the Q and the E really works well. I don't think recurve bow is that good. She has attack speed, yes, but it's been constantly nerfed over time. The scaling on the on-hit is not... Rather, the... You'll probably get a similar amount of damage buying an ability power item like Blasting Wand than you would have buying the recurve bow on-hit damage. You don't get the attack speed, but there is a point where you really want your damage on hits or AD or whatever, and your attack speed in decent equilibrium. At least I think so. There's of course exceptions to that, but if you've seen like an AD TF build nothing but attack speed, and you'll just witness what it will redefine P shooter for you. Anyway, we do a little camping around Dragon. Enemy size goes for Pyke. This Pyke was a very active roaming support, as every support in the world seems to be, and then he just kind of decides, hey, I'm already at a disadvantage, why don't we do a 3v3 right now with me frontlining. Since the enemies have a clear shot of Dragon, I decided to throw a Rift Herald down in the mid lane. That gets us the ability plates. Silas goes a little bit too out there whilst the team had already given up on chasing us. I'm not sure what they could have done if they did. That would just open up some opportunities for me to ult and Q and line them up, And here we go, 3-0. With that Emax, we've got some points in Q now as well. Well, by that I mean 2. And the ability powers, of course, working as well. Ability haste and machine procs. He did see me here, or at least he should have. We're going to go ahead and immediately engage, and by the time he thinks to retaliate, we press W. W gives it a lot of resistances now compared to before, and by that I mean literally 3 more, or 6, if you count both. Easy kill on both of them. Ornn felt that kind of peer pressure to help the person dying near him. But I am Gwen, I'm very strong. We have the pressy attack for that early game damage, the vulnerability, working with the Sheen procs, working with the E on hit, would work with the, what's it called, recurve bow on hit if we had it, and of course, yeah, very good. And possibly with that Q, magic damage, at least. I don't know about the true damage. I'll look that up after this replay. Probably should have looked it up beforehand. Lane resets, kind of. It's pretty much just slight slow push to Trinder, but laners will be back by then, so it's up to them now. The full Nash's Tooth is complete, giving us more percentage damage, more AP damage, more damage in general, more attack speed. And again, working with Pressy Attack in multiple ways by providing an on-hit to amplify and attack speed to activate Pressy Attack. Pressy Attack Gwen's not bad. It's not going to scale as hard as either Lethal Tempo, which I know most people that build. Neither that nor Conqueror. That's okay, because every time I play jungle and I play any kind of late game build, or, ganks aren't available because the team's always pushing up or whatever, those 2 games tend to be so hopeless, so I wanted to get more early game power, so I have some say in what happens in early game, rather than being 4v1'd on the surrender vote. Pantheon comes in with a sweeper. Rather than engage into the unknown, I'm going to walk away from that. As you can see, he's aggressive because his team's with him. There's a Fed Kalista 3-0 with the shield bow. They're lined up, so we're going to use the ult. That will also slow them. We got the auto attack after the E as well, that's so we can get the E reset and get out of there. Without a maxed E, we probably didn't get out of there, by the way. We'd probably have a bad time. We got the Wisp going into Lich Bane and a Codex as well. More ability haste. Lich Bane is not a bad item on Gwen. I'd never see people build it, though, because people really like the bruiser stats. They like, obviously you like Cosmic Drive. Totally understandable. A lot of people really like Riftmaker. I have never had a good... Okay, I've had like 1 good Riftmaker game out of 4 in terms of like overall career usage of the item. I'm not a fan of it. And you might be wondering what mythic we built this game. Stay tuned till the end to see which mythic we actually buy. Okay, Ornn's gone mid. Yone is mid. Can't tell if they can see me or not. Just kind of dancing outside. It's obvious now that they can't see anything, so just waiting a little bit. Waiting maybe a bit too long. Then Yone does a E, and that lets me get some hits on him. Pantheon, once again roaming. Supports these days, man. They never stay in their lane. Big damage. Try to avoid the Ornn, but he goes for me as a priority over any kind of AoE there. dancing in and out with that maxed E and machine procs. You can see where we're going with this now. It is a very beautiful playstyle, but unfortunately, once again, Pyke, that's his 6th death now. I'm sure someone would say if you stayed, Pyke wouldn't die, haha. Swear. When people have those kind of, you know, hindsight comments, oh, you should have done this, etc. Or, well, less hindsight, more in the moment. You know, never... It's healthy to assume that someone might know something you don't, but it's very unhealthy to assume that everyone else in League of Legends, a game played primarily by, you know, young teenagers, with, well, nothing better to do, to put it bluntly. Would they really have sound judgment? If you're inexperienced in the game, it can be okay to follow calls. Just make a mental note of when they go wrong. And if you're experienced in the game, trust yourself. Get them big AoE ults. And go ahead, bam! We got the Lich Bane now as well, providing extra damage. Chase them all down. They are all dead. 15 to 10 on the scoreboard. 1 dragon each. We're 7-0. And we don't have a shred of tankiness. No Omnivamp. No healing. No. Oh, we got innate Gwen healing. EW, so we take no Mountain Dragon damage, I guess. Whatever damage it has. And always farming. Like Master Yi, like any of those kind of fast clear champions. That's one thing Gwen does have going for her, is decent clears. That Ornn Goat is headed for the kill. It does get a knock-up, and then he decides to flash in and go for a kill. Unexpected, to be honest. But big tanky Ornn versus a Gwen with an ult, and you have no cooldowns? Ugh, it's ugly. Ugly place to be. He knew what he wanted, he knew the consequences, and he just went for it. With Ornn down, that's a Herald dropped in the mid lane with the whole team here. Might as well take the opportunity. A nice Varus ult is going to catch whoever that was. Silas from behind goes in on the carry. I am standing there. Was I stunned? Probably. W up. Kalista starts jumping up. Kalistas can't help but move when they use their autos. Note that it is actually kind of optional. So when they move into you like that, it's quite nice. Get hit by the tornado there. I really want to just kill them both, to be honest with you. I settle for a little bit of a sweep as we go to shove the bot lane. Always farming, like we said. 10-0-3. Still haven't purchased. We have quite a bit of gold floating, so we're going to go back, hopefully. Or keep farming. That works too. Enemy appears. Enemy back off. As they should. And with that, we can recall path back up to top as those Krugs have respawned. Red is respawning. Purchase Death Cap. That's why we stayed. If people tell you Gwen has bad ratios, they are lying. Hilarious things happen when you build lots of AP on Gwen. She suddenly has tons of resistance on W. That's not bad, considering you're buying a purely offensive stat. Her damage ratios... Remember, it's the base damages, some of which were increased with her recent changes, by the way. Base damages and ratios. It's her damage on the abilities and her passive, of which her abilities, her Q and her R, apply. And technically her E, but that's an auto attack. It always applies it. All that together, including true damage that scales with AP, pretty insane. She does a lot of damage, especially considering how low cooldown those things are and how low cooldown they can get. Now here is a beautiful thing. An absolutely beautiful thing right here. Well, besides the Pyke kind of, you know, going in with 5 people, and, you know, the mid laner has already said, yeah, I don't want this fight. We see the Ornn, he sees, does he? I don't know. I see a bunch of people lined up, and that should be like Gwen's happy place right there. So we get slightly not satisfying needles, but these ones will be very satisfying. Look at the Q slaps on there, the snips and the snaps. Gonna back out for a second, more cooldowns kind of fade. I should have autoed a minion there, but I guess I wasn't looking. The assassin does come in, and we'll get these last few kills. Kind of cross over to chase the Yone. Do a cheeky little Lich Bane proc, cheeky little Pressy Attack proc, and he is out. 11-0. Only... Oh, obvious problem with Gwen playing full AP and very squishy is that you're not tanky and you're completely melee outside of ultimate. So it would be pretty smart to buy some kind of tankiness at this point, such as anything. Anyway, we called it the Baron. We do use the plant on it, which I'm pretty sure would be visible. But this is okay because there's a dragon up at the same time. That's what the enemy team is likely concerned about. As you can see, many of them are there. So it's a fairly educated guess to assume they won't go to Baron. And with Gwen's percentage damage, which is nerfed against monsters after the latest patch, or the 2 patches ago, 1 patch ago. Still very strong. And the rate she can apply it, the damage we've got, and the W as well, to prevent Baron's damage completely for a few seconds, 4 seconds. Pretty good. So our defensive option of choice here is Zhonya's, which is pretty good. It also provides AP, ability haste. Yeah, pretty good. Just as long as I actually use it. Okay, pushing mid with the Baron. We also have the Lich Bane and the Nashes, which will do a lot of damage to turrets. Like some kind of non-degenerate Hall Breaker. Pike gets the blue buff. And he tries to take the Krugs. Very, very strange. The Grump, sorry. Here we have a big fight. Okay, that was actually normal speed. Just absolutely annihilates. Land those needles. Thread every enemy together. Pike or Sasuga, my man. Chase them all down. That's just a Yone. He's just eating. He's just chilling. Attack the turret. Look at that. Lich Bane. Show me a Lich Bane. Ooh, okay, that was overkill. Players coming back to defend. We got W as well, so there you go. We got tasty Lich Bane. Plus the Nash's tooth. We missed the Qs, unfortunately, there. So Silas does take a second to die there. There will be a stun, unfortunately, on Pike, and he's going to go down. But, I mean, to be honest, he'd probably have found a way to die, given his track record in this game particularly. Okay, 13-0-9. We're looking pretty good. We finished the Zhonya's, and now we've got Oblivion Orb. Which builds into our favourite mythic. Nothing. We don't have a mythic. I forgot. You know, I needed things. I needed an Ashes, I needed a Lich Bane, I needed a Death Cap because it's high damage, I needed the Zhonya's because of the active, I needed Lucidities because they're boots, and I need Oblivion Orb because I need Grievous Wounds. Don't need a Mythic, I guess. However, if I was to build a Mythic, Frostfire would be a reliable option to make me tanky and harder to kill. Everfrost would be the same thing but very similar. Shattered Queen could work as well, especially because I am often initiating and frontlining. Despite being squishy, so Shattered Queen would not be bad. Everfrost is really, really good and underrated on Gwen, and of course, Riftmaker, as much as I don't like it, would be a very good item. Particularly on paper. The chance of us, with our current build and being so squishy though, having a sustained fight is a little less likely. So the Riftmaker may be less suitable, but the Omnivamp does make it more tanky. So it's a kind of weird, self-fulfilling prophecy that is a little bit unsure of itself. Lich Bane. Miss the Qs. Try and get him. The Baron... The Nexus, I was going to call it a Dragon next, will be going down, and we'll get the plus 50G for last hitting it. 30 minutes game, and just about a 20-minute replay. I hope you enjoyed this, and welcome to the second channel. Most replays, possibly all, but likely most, replays will end up on here. Any kind of entertaining game, and probably a lot of Gwen content will end up here, because I do play a lot of Gwen. I just noticed that they don't go down as well. So, trying something new. Less main channel uploads, and the other stuff can go here. I made another replay commentary addressing addressing this similarly. I'm not sure I explained it very well, and the replay was kind of boring. I'll probably upload that anyway. But hope you enjoyed this little 14-0-12 funny Lich Bane Pressy Attack Jungle Gwen game. And please do subscribe to the second channel if you want to see more of this and non-league content as well. There might be non-league content on the main channel, like the Multiverses video we've done. But whatever, if you like any of this or any of the above, please consider subscribing. If you don't watch it, it will disappear from your subscriber feed anyway, because that's how YouTube works. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.